All right. My name is Tim Harris. I'm your entertainment for the afternoon. Um, I'm going to do something a little different. I have not looked at these slides in 14 months. The last time I delivered this presentation was at the December DFW investors meeting in 2017. And my conclusion, I remember my conclusion, it's like one of my most watched YouTube videos ever. My conclusion at that time was we were entering a bit of a new game, and there was a Morgan Stanley article that compared real estate cycles and recoveries to a baseball game. And Nick was talking about stock market never going more than 9.5 years, and that was the whole thing. Most of the time it's over at 9 innings, and sometimes you get an extra inning or two. And there's been some periods of prolonged recovery that it lasts even 11, 12 innings. But most of the time, when that happens, it will be a minor reset, and then the next one's like a big one. Think about like what we all did in America after 9/11, right? You just had the dot bomb crash, then you had 9/11, then we made money for free and houses for everyone, and really set ourselves up to destroy the economy 5 years after that, right? I mean, it was not a good decision. So what I thought I would do is go back through some of the things that I saw over a year ago, and then talk about what I believe the next 18 to 24 months is going to be like. So we'll have slides for the first half, but not the second. So if you don't know anything about me, which I'm pretty sure you do, but I'm going to say it anyway. I used to be in the Marine Corps. I bought a lot of houses in the last, started buying houses in 2002. So that's 15 years, yeah, something like that. Oh, 16. What's the math? 17 years. 17 years now. I am. And we've added a couple hundred houses to that since then. I started the REI Expo. I used to run home busters and be a development agent. I founded B4 Finance, about $1 billion worth of loans there. I do some consulting, and at the end of the day, I'm a crazy serial entrepreneur. I'm a crazy person. That's settled down a little bit since I turned 40. Now I'm just crazy. To me, this is, if you don't do business this way, I just don't want to do business. Right? If we can't trust each other, if we can't treat each other right, and we can't count on each other to do what we say we're going to do, well, we just don't need to know each other. That vision statement was where Tim Harris was going with 2020 REI, 18 months ago. We were going to be huge. We were going to take over the world, right? We were going to become the end-all, be-all to all real estate investors ever. I still believe in making real estate investing easy. I've just changed the way I want to go about it when we talk about that, because I think now that I'm remembering this presentation, my slides for all my companies that don't exist anymore are going to be here. Nope, there you go. At the end of the day, I like to help people create and maintain wealth in single-family real estate. There you go, the group. So, H&R Acquisitions, that's my house buying company. We still do that. We do a lot of that. That's my favorite company. It doesn't take a whole lot of people to run it. It makes a lot of money. And I like it. Investable realty, I wanted to help real estate investors buy and sell assets. I wanted to, kind of make it more mainstream, so I started a real estate broker. I never grew up saying I wanted to be a real estate broker. I never said I wanted to manage 50 real estate agents. That's how big we got. It's like babysitting 50 incapable human beings. They will make $25,000 to $50,000 in 1 month, and you don't see them for 5 more months. And then they tell you how nothing works. And you're like, it didn't work for you. Right? You laugh. But that's, I decided I didn't want to do the real estate brokerage thing anymore, so I shut that down last year. I started REI Data Systems because I really love technology and what it does for us. But at the end of the day, I started that because a buddy of mine lost his job and I hired him. Don't do that. When someone comes to you with an idea and they're recently unemployed, don't take their idea and turn it into your idea. Next thing you know, spend about $80,000, $90,000 for something that never made any money. So good. So anyway, I was never wanting to run a tech company. I started a tech company. We shut down a tech company. REI Choice Insurance. I love that business. That business is awesome because I get to give people better insurance at a lower price, and I don't have to do anything. So again, not a lot of people, and I make money. Good business. My partner Andy, who you guys probably met earlier, he's been an insurance agent for 25, 40 years, something like that. He, real big specialty in builder's risk. Some of you in this room I know own over, a couple dozen houses. Really, if you own over 20, you ought to sit down with Andy. He can create you we're doing custom policies for people now. It's all done through Arcana Insurance, which does all home builders insurance nationwide. And it's underwritten by Lloyd's of London. They have direct underwriting authority with Lloyd's. And so what we do with people, we've got a couple that have done 200, 300 houses with us. We can create a master insurance policy for you. You get your own portal, your own management system. It's slick. But for those of you that don't want to go through the brain damage of creating your own insurance policy, just go to reichoice.com. That's what I use because I am lazy when it comes to insurance. It's one of those things I do an hour before funding. Anybody else? I mean, I don't bother with renewals. It's just once I'm there, I'm there. The cool thing about that reichoice.com is you can actually print your binder while you're online in like less than 5 minutes. So typically when you're holding up closing on a Friday, the last day of the month, you can go online and print out. I'm going to talk about that later. 2020 REI, I honestly have no earthly idea why I started. I left B2R and I think I felt bored just being a house buyer and I needed to call my big company something else. So I came up with a branding philosophy and a name and all that. So you're going to see 2020 REI this year just go away. It's just not, it doesn't serve a purpose other than, I guess, my ego and overhead. It's not that I'm going to go away. It's just there's no need for that one umbrella company that kind of tries to be and do all for all. All it does is distract me away from my family and the things that are important to me and make it where I have to manage a bunch of people that won't do what I told them to do. Which I have a 17-year-old son at home, so I have to tell you that. Yeah. And I have a 9-year-old who can be worse. But now, like I'm about to lose my 17-year-old, right? He's going away to college and all that. He's got 7 offers to play college football. It's going to be great to watch him go to man, and I'm proud of him, but it gives you a different perspective on your 9-year-old that's still there with you. And, I got 6, 7 years left with him, so I'm fortunate. I can just kind of not work as hard and spend more time with him and live a great life. So that's what I'm going to do. But you all know that I had DFW Investors, the club. Funniest story on this board is probably what most people in Dallas Fort Worth knew me the best for. I hate real estate investor clubs. I hate going on a Thursday night. I hate going on Monday night. I hate driving in traffic. I hate staying there till midnight and drinking too much beer and having my wife mad at me and then feeling like junk the next day. I hate everything that has to do with real estate investment clubs. But for some reason, 2 years ago, I started one. I'd sworn I would never do it. I don't know why I did it. I do know why. This guy that worked for me named Ryan Harper, who a lot of you know from Papelio, he came into the office and said, "Hey, let's start a club." No, he said, "I'll run it." I said, "All right, fine." We started it. Then he left the next year. And I ran it for a year. And then I talked to George Roddy and I said, "Hey," well, actually, April 9th, what happened is we were at the club last year and my son tore his meniscus in his knee. And the coach called me and said, "Hey, this is bad. You need to get here." I said, "Oh, I'm busy with this important club thing." And it's to my wife. And, he had knee surgery a couple days after that. And I get it if you need to make money, right? And then you got to do what you got to do. But that club made us like $1,000 a month. It took up like 40 hours a month of our time. And I wasn't there for my kids when he needed it because I was doing all this stuff that just frankly doesn't matter. Nothing about that club matters. So I told George the next month, I said, "Hey man, I want you to take this thing over. I don't want to be a part of it anymore." He goes, "Man, I was going to tell you the same thing." I said, "Well, let's make tonight the last meeting." He said, "Okay." So that was the last meeting. It's a romantic story of how that company died. Elevate Private Capital. I started this fund. We managed a fund. We put some houses, have some rentals, and doing a big development. For the life of me, I do not know why I raised the fund. But I did. It's the typical Tim Harris entrepreneurial story. This was 2-3 years ago. Yeah, 2.5 years ago. Something. 16. Raised $1 million, put a bunch of houses, made decent returns to the investors. Now we're in this big development. It's going to be really nice. And I'm finally going to close the fund out at the end of the year and be done with that. But it's like, when I started the fund, I had a guy that was a mentor of mine, and you'll notice I don't listen to my wife or my mentors, and a lot of times I regret it. But what happened with Elevate is I ended up raising all this money just to buy all these houses and split half with the investors and then half with George. And you look up one day and you say, wait a second. I was doing 5 a month and keeping it all. And now I'm doing 20 a month and keeping 25%. Holy crap, that's the same. But a lot more work. And a big office. And 700 checks a week. And more stress and more angst. And I said, that's stupid. So we're shutting the fund down. And then there's 3L Finance. That's my lending arm. I love that business. It's a fun business because you get to help people with the good part of this business, which is buying and refinancing. I'm good at it, and we actually recently entered into an agreement with someone where we're selling that company. That'll be made public probably in the next couple of weeks. And then the beautiful thing is right now, 3L is a broker. We broker everybody else's money. But we've entered into an agreement that will give us access to a $1 billion balance sheet. And we're going to be creating lines of credit and one closed loan where you close, you rehab, and then you just sign a modification and you're on a 30-year fix. The lender is actually a lender that has done a lot of loans for a lot of investors. They've been doing it for about 15 years. So we'll become a direct lender, which then puts us back into working with the brokerage business. I'm really excited about it. It was kind of funny. It's all happened in like the last couple of weeks. And when that happens, like you're like, oh wow, this is like kind of part of the whole purpose of this, right? So I'm excited that one, I get to continue the business line, but two, I get to take more of a back seat and be more strategic. I don't have to manage it. That's kind of part of the agreement. I don't want to be a manager. I don't want to have to be at the office, right? I mean, I want to be a visionary. I want to show up for a meeting every couple of weeks and like tell people what I think they should do, and then leave and go eat barbecue and drink it, right? I mean, safer. So that's kind of what happened in 18 months. I was still creating companies, 14 months ago, and now like we've going away, gone, here to stay, gone, staying. So I guess 3 are staying, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 are gone. So the point of me going through all this with you is when times are good, you can get distracted, and you can also, a lot of people in this business will see something someone else does and get really distracted by it and leave their core focus just long enough to lose a bunch of money and then go back to their core focus. So what I say to you, especially at this time of the market we're entering, you want to stick with what you're good at and minimize your overhead. That's the other thing I say is doing all the stuff I just walked you through is going to allow me to so this time last year, my monthly overhead was probably $80-something thousand. We had a bunch of W-2 employees. We're up on the 11th floor with like 6,000 square foot overlooking Dallas and North Park and all this. It was cool. I mean, I had a little bar set up in my office, kind of like J.R. Ewing. I didn't need it all. And that's the whole point. I said to this, I was talking to one of the guys here. We started selling all of our notes and then selling some of the rental properties that weren't 2 baths or weren't at least 3 bedrooms or weren't brick or didn't have a 2-car garage. It's called culling through. And so then we started buying like really nice houses in Plano that we could have, just sink $50,000 into and hold long term, because that house is worth $350 right now. One day will be worth $500. Like 10 years. And it'll be worth 500, now only at 100. So, I mean, if I have 50 of those, that's, I mean, what's 50 times 400,000? Where's your son get? Enough money. Enough money. That's where I'm at, right? And then my idea is I'm just going to refi 2 or 3 houses a year and live off tax-free refinance money and drink beer and eat barbecue. That's my theme now, by the way. What I've also found is since I shut this down and shut this down and shut this down and stopped worrying about growing this, now I eat barbecue about 2 times a week. Now I pick my son up from school every day at 3 o'clock. Now my wife likes me more, right? So to me, it's all about clarity and, and focus. And, I'm not saying be lazy and go home and, put in your back porch, but I'm saying if you can, do it. Because at the end of that, why we all want to do this. We say we do this because we want financial freedom and blah, 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 blah. And then we start making money and we talk about all the grind. The grind don't stop. The grind don't stop. The grind don't stop. Let the grind stop a little bit is all I'm saying. But it also, so when I reflected back, right, over my career, I've not kept enough rental property. So The Richest Man in Babylon is a great book about keeping 10% of what you earn. And if I just kept 10% of every house, of the houses I bought, I'd have about 150 houses. But too often I would grow my livelihood, which talk about how you have to eat, right? Well, we ate good. We ate, we lived in $1 million house, and we got all these cars and trucks and vacations. One year I went to Vail 4 times skiing. It's a short ski season. And anybody ever been to Vail? Actual Vail? I mean, other than you, because you're like just a super cheap travel guy. I mean, you can't go there for less than $2,000 a night per person. Do what? You found a way to, didn't you? He's telling me, yeah, I hired her from Little Rock for $22 plus tax. I'm like, I can't even get the Texarkana in my truck for that. I know. Southern Airlines. I looked it up last night. I showed my wife. Did you see this? I thought it was cool. Fly straight to Hot Springs for $25, $33. He's got a promo code. Gets it for $25. That's $8 a time. Anyway, wrong partner. Somebody was joking around about doing something. I think it was a month talking about brothers, sisters, uncles. No, we were talking. The wrong partner. Some of the worst mistakes I've made with this is having the wrong partners. And I don't mean they were bad dudes. I don't mean that they didn't have money or whatever. I mean what I wanted at that time didn't line up with what they had wanted at that time. One of the things Scott's doing here, he left. Scott was the wrong partner for me at the wrong time, or the right partner for me at the wrong time, but it ended up actually working in my favor. But we fought a lot. He was. So I'm 40, he's 60. So when we were partners, I was like 25 and he was 45. So he was right there where I am now. He's really level-headed. He's all about the future. No, Tim, we're not going to flip that house and make $40,000. We're going to keep it long-term. And, I'm like, no, I want the $40,000. I don't want to buy a truck with dual exhaust and tires. But then I had some partners that wouldn't pull their load. I mean, I'm in a partner-free zone now. I have no partners. I bought them all out. If you get into partnerships, make sure they're short-term and well-defined. Now, I don't think there's a problem with being in a partnership. I mean, you and I can partner up to buy that car and sell it, right? And then we become not partners, right? Too many people kind of have an idea of mutual interest and they turn it into something too complex. And you can ruin friendships, marriages, family relationships, and all that over bad partnerships. So I'm all about no partners now. It's not because I have enough money. It's actually because I lost enough sleep and had enough conflict with people that I just think if you do partnership, it should be very specific and short term. Don't try to merge a bunch of stuff. It's just my personal advice. I bought a lot of the wrong rentals, and last year was good. The last 2 years have been really good for those wrong rentals because I sold a lot of them for a lot more than I ever thought they'd be worth. There's a lot of rent houses that we don't own anymore, and they're best one that we got rid of was finally in December. This house was so bad, it took 3 months to sell in this market. It was awful. That was after we spent 40 grand fixing it up. I mean, it was on Cut Through Street, cracked neighborhood, and I don't know, I must have been nuts the day I bought that house. But all through the recession, that house on Spring Oaks in Balch Springs, it was the one that always went vacant every other month. It was the one that the meth dealer was operating out of in the city of Balch Springs called. I hated that house. Hated that house. My wife almost asked to rent it back out. I said, no, I want it gone. So, buying the wrong rentals for the lifestyle, like a lot of you guys, I talk to you, y'all love to manage every aspect of your business. And that's cool. If that's what makes you passionate, talking to tenants and dealing with pit bulls and that, cool. That doesn't make me happy. It makes me miserable. It makes me disgusted. And then I don't handle it, and I just let it ride, and next thing you know, it's been 4 months, and the pit bull and the mess is still there. Times 4. So, anyway, wrong rental. That was big. We lost a lot of money on our rental. We never let a house go back to the bank, but man, they're sure working times when you want to. There was 5816 Phoenix, unit number 6, little condo I bought. Y'all remember that Ebola outbreak? It's about 50 yards from this condo. That whole area was quarantined. And I just remember I was like, my God, I had to pay to relocate the guy and the 4 pit bulls. One was named Killer. That was the last tenant that ever lived in one of my houses that knew who I was or had my cell phone number. And it's a great thing. Even when I go to the appraisal appointments now for refinancing my rentals, I drive that big black truck out there to flip it on the back. But I pull up and I always wear dirty boots and dirty jeans and a dirty T-shirt. And they're like, oh, who are you? I'm like, I'm the maintenance guy. And they're like, oh, I need to talk to the owner. What's the owner's name? Talk to the property man. I want to get a new fence. What's the guy's name? Talk to the property man. I don't know what Sam. I don't know anybody. I'm just chucking a truck. And the reason is, it's amazing. That dude that wanted the new fence on his house in Mayfield, it was because he had a dog he didn't disclose on the pet thing. And since he didn't know that I was anybody, he's like, well, I have to see dogs. I don't think I'm supposed to have him in the house. And, I just want a new fence so we can keep him in the backyard. Man, he just talked to property man. I got my truck. I called Sam up. You better kick your ass out of my house. And I hung up. Because I'm done. That wasn't, anyway. So, I highly recommend this property man. Wrong financing. That was what we were talking about earlier. We want to say, like, I'm serious, guys. If y'all take out bank, if you've taken out bank debt in the last 5 or 6 years, you better go look at that, whatever Scott said, demand phrase or whatever. Just look for the part where it talks about your rate and things. That's where you find all the tricks and tricks. And it almost sunk me in April of 08. They called $400,000, and I did not have $400,000. I did not have a bank that would loan me $40. So I pulled a rabbit out of my hat, and that's a whole other story about how I got the money. But I got it. We have a problem. Here's the deal. People say work on your weaknesses. I say avoid them like they're the plague. I suck at managing rehab. I'm awful at it. I understand it. I have an engineer-type mind. I used to build houses when I was a kid with my stepdad. I really understand construction. The problem is when you really understand construction, if you're not building something new, you try to make everything new. But I'm the type that I'm going to rip out a wall or go ahead and rip cabinets out because they don't look that good. My wife is going to go in there, no, you can't. Coffee. Coffee. The point is, I suck at rehab. Yet I always tend to get like, I'll start doing it again, and you'll look up, and I'll be managing a rehab. And like that is, number one, a great waste of my time. Number two, a great waste of money. Because I'm going to be way over budget. It will be a structurally sound, properly constructed home, but the budget does not matter in my decision-making process. General theme for me. All those companies I started, I didn't raise a single dime for them. I just figured, we'll make enough money to pay for it all. Growing out of profits is a very tough road, but we did it. I'm just wanting to keep more of it now. More sacrifice. If I hadn't bought the big house in State and then the big house in Heath, and I just lived a little bit more modest life while I was building, I think, I'd probably be worth another $5-6 million today. Just being in the position we were in the recession made it where we had to owner finance a very large chunk of our home, and that was the single greatest wealth building error I ever made. Because I sold those homes on owner finance at the 2009 price. And yeah, it was 9% interest, blah, 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 blah. When I sold those notes last year, the unpaid principal balance, which is what I got paid, was well over $3 million less than the BPO, the market value. I mean, we had a house in Richardson, Texas. If you're not from here, that's on the other side of the highway. It's one of the best towns on rental property in it. I bought $78,000. I owner financed for $120 in 2009. I was so happy to get $5,000 down. So happy. We had no money. We were like powerless. And when I sold the note last year, they only owed me like 80 something, and we only owed like 20 something. So we got 60 grand out of the deal. But at that point, the house was worth $280,000. I mean, that house was worth $200,000 more than they owed me on that house. And people can say all the time, oh, yeah, but Tim, you didn't have to pay for maintenance on that house. Oh, yeah, Tim, you didn't have to worry about tenants and toilets on that house. Yeah. I also didn't get rent increases, and I also lost out on my, $200,000 of that. So, again, it depends on what your goals are and your business strategy is, right? Owner financing can be a good way to manage cash flow and to manage inventory. But just know in the long run, unless you're going to go to bed at night praying people have bankruptcy or get deported or whatever, praying they lose their home, then, it doesn't work for me. So now I'm 100% running. 100% running. They're my houses. I own them. They're going to go up in value, and I'm going to own them. And I'm going to have all the extra. Period. No more owner finance. It's just me, though. Late to the dance. Very important. Anybody ever been late to the dance? That means in 2008, 9, and 10, due to the errors we had made pre-recession, we almost ran out of cash. And when you're in that fight or flight mode, you're just not ready to react. Good case in point is Mesquite, Texas, the town just east of here. There were houses in Northridge Estate in 2008, 9, and 10 that you could buy for anywhere from $35,000 to $40,000. And you could buy them like this. I see a couple wholesalers in here I know that you probably bought them for $30,000, $45,000 and sold them for, $45,000, $50,000. We're like, yeah, those houses right now are going for about $180,000.
I got one and I don't believe it.
Go run the comp.
I did.
And when you wake back up, run them again.
I bought it for one for 38 and one for 42, and now we are 158 and 189.
Telling you. So the point is, I was still trying to fix my mess and recoup cash and build up a cash bankroll when everybody else was buying those great little gems. So as I look at the next recession, correction, economic event, market setback, cooling off period, whatever you want to call it, it's not, I've said this multiple times, I'm going to say it again, it's not about me sitting here hoping or being scared or thinking it's going to be really bad for everybody. I'm trying to be thoughtful and make sure the next time that crap is on sale, that's when I go raise a fund and I go buy $10 million of that crap. And then 10 years later, I'm the rich old white guy that, got turned 10 million into 50 million. Right? And then we're all geniuses together. But the last time I was duking it out in the street so violently that you can't see the big picture because you're late, and then once you miss the opportunity in real estate, it's gone. You got to wait for the next cycle. And enough people have been through enough cycles, and they'll come back around, but then you got opportunity cost, time value of money. I should have pulled up for you. So 2007 market overview, really probably irrelevant, but everything went up. New listings, pending sales, closed sales, days on the market was flat, median sales price was up like 10% as doubtful work. So housing affordability dropped like crazy. Inventory was crap. In 18, I was thinking, we'd end up with a 3 to 5% growth kind of across the board. I think we beat that. I think we ended up with like 8 if you actually take the statistical area. I was thinking inventory would get really tight again by March, and it did. Building starts would peak up, but not unless, yeah, that's true. So we built 8 new houses in 2018. They were all under 250, and those were the single most profitable, I guess you would call it, that I've done in the last decade. We went into them thinking they'd sell for 200, and they all sold for 225. And they appraised with I don't understand. But this is something. Who was talking about that earlier? The multifamily folks. They were talking about that starter inventory. This is something we're really, 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 really focused on. Is building that. And we went into the year thinking that was important. We came out of the year knowing it was. So much that we're about to buy 8 acres down in Cleveland in an opportunity zone. And we're building 33 duplexes with 66 units. And the average, we think they'll be worth about $250,000 a piece on a kind of an income valuation. We haven't decided yet if we're just going to build them all, own them all, refinance them all on like a Fannie Mae loan and just keep them, or if we're just going to put the streets in, build the duplexes, sell them to investors. But what I do know, talking to the city down there, they love it. They need quality rental inventory, right? You look at these new homes that we built in Garland, all of them got the first-time home buyer grant. So some of these cities, if you want to get in the building, you start buying these infill lots, you got to look. Some of these cities offer down payment assistance if you redevelop infill tracts that were previously vacant homes or vacant lots. So, and it's a fiscal year thing, so you got to get in at the right time and apply for the grant, and then they attach it to the property, and you can offer it to your borrower. So everybody that bought those new houses from us in Garland got $10,000 free down payment money.
That's federal or state?
It's city, but I think they draw it from Fed funds. The city administers it, well, the state gets it there. I think it's part of the HUD budget that kind of trickles down to the cities, but each city has their own allotment and their own administration process. I'd imagine it's Fed money. It's just administered by the city. I figured the new jobs would be announced, and they sure were. Everybody's saying that multifamily and commercial didn't get saturated last year. I don't believe it. I've seen price reductions on the new build multifamily. I've seen a lot of commercial offices popping up for lease. This building, a year and a half ago, there was nothing in it. And now you walk around some of the floors and you start seeing empty offices. I don't know if it's just not being recorded or if they're using funky math. But, in the 80s, Dallas really overbuilt their multifamily inventory, and that's how all these condos got developed. They turned the condos into apartments, and now everybody's trying to turn the condos back into they turn apartments into condos. Now they're trying to turn the condos back into apartments. History. Lots of cars arrived. I knew interest rates go up. We all did, though. Lots of cars arrived. There was one study that said 50,000 new cars on North Texas roads last year. It was insane. Labor costs, and the cost of construction is out the roof. You get people still that, I'll paint a house for $1.50 a foot, and what they mean is they'll spray paint on the walls. It's up to you, however it looks. You can't, I think we're paying like $2.25 a foot for a good painter these days, which that's a 100% increase. I mean, it's not about I don't want people to make money. It's just in 5 years it's gone up 100%. Right? I mean, my brick guy's gone up like 200%. The window guy. I mean, it's on and on and on and on. So I think that's what's really messing up a lot of these flippers last year and into this year. They went in with the old rehab calculator. The old rehab calculator was right, but you can still get it done like that. It's just not going to look good, and not going to sell. I'm not talking about politics, but this dude's still scared the beaches out of me. And I was in the military. I was overseas. And I can tell you, I was meeting with the guy that founded Invitation Homes, the Blackstone on the Farlow houses, and he was also the guy that recruited me to start V2R. He's a billionaire. He lives in London. We were having a drink downtown last month when he was in town, and he thinks that the next crisis will be stemmed from the capital markets in Europe. And when you look at, and then if you take that a step farther and start Googling it like I did, I don't understand anything about Italy's economic system or Greece's economic system or London. What I know is like their currency's at all-time lows. Their governments are about to go completely socialist in one place, and the other place is just going to rip itself in half in London. He explained to me like this whole Brexit thing, the reason it's so confusing, problem for their country is, you know, our country is really good down the middle, right? We either hate you or we love you, right? We either want to kill you or not kill you. Well, their country is goofy because it's conservative and liberal, but then it's divided this way too between like labor and something else. I forget how he described it. Well, the problem is the labor section of both sides won't exit Brexit. They want to be done with it. So they can't get jobs and all these immigrants and da-da-da-da. So the both sides of the aisle, so to speak, are in agreement, the labor side. But on both sides of the aisle, the business owners, the wealthy types, et cetera, they want to stay in Brexit because it's good for the economy and good for da-da-da. So he's like, either way it goes, there's going to be blood in the streets. He's like, this is going to be rioting. And so everyone saw last week, the parliament voted to stay with Brexit after the people had voted to leave Brexit 2 years ago. It's going to be a nightmare. And I don't know if that is what will spark it, but the point is, with this dude talking about nuking people and the Dems are going to impeach him and we're going to build a wall and people are getting arrested by the FBI every other day. I mean, it's uneasy, right? And you just don't know how the markets react. And when the markets react, companies react, and debt markets. So like what killed the subprime thing was that bonds didn't sell, right? One day, a bond package for the subprime mortgage did not price and sell in Wall Street. And then they missed margin calls. And then the next bond package, I mean, it was a cascading effect. So I just, you know, I hate politics. It's depressing, it's distracting, but it does impact us as citizens of this world, right? So, you know, the good news is in 30 days of getting the Democrats back in charge of the House, now we shut down the government for that entire time. So, which, by the way, I know the Republicans shut down before the Democrats even took office. I mean, imagine that. So the good news is it looks like I was hoping that nothing will really happen for the next 2 years, right? Either side will get anything they want for the next 2 years, which should mean that we just kind of get to operate the way we are right now, which I'm okay with. I mean, you know, everybody's like complaining about the market softening. Sorry, you're taking 2 weeks to sell your house instead of 2 minutes. It's just, I don't feel sorry for you. I know what it's like to take 45, 60 days on every flip. And that, in a healthy market in Dallas-Fort Worth, you know, in Europe, whatever market you're in, look at the absorption rate and what a healthy is. Here, it's 6 weeks. It should take 6 weeks. There should be 6 weeks worth of inventory on the market at all times. Today, there's like a week and a half or 2 weeks worth of inventory. I mean, it's very unhealthy, right? And that's the reason that you got to still get prices going up, prices going up, prices going up. So days on the market increasing, you know, 30 days from what they are right now, it would actually be good. It would mean that the market was kind of, you know, I think the interest rate increase was good. It's meant to keep inflation down, right? To keep houses from going up, to keep businesses from borrowing more debt, you know, and they just worry, like, did they need the debt? Do they need more debt to pay their existing debt? That's the part that you worry about, you know. That's the quote from J.P. Morgan. And, you know, we're solid about to be in the 10-year period. They say the recovery started in, some say 9, some say 10. But the point is, never in the history of people keeping records has it lasted longer than 10 years. So, and the question is, can raising rates a little stave it off and give you an extra year, give you an extra 2 years? I don't know. As I think that's the point. Nobody really has a crystal ball, but you can't do what I did in 07, just bury your head in the sand and say, everything will work out, right? Because it just doesn't, right? I mean, it's just, there's a reason people started tracking stats and statistics and history, right? And they repeat themselves. In 2018, I was saying I was going to do more wholesale, a little bit of fix and flip. This is in order. More fix and flip, more buy and hold, and sign lat. I don't think I really stuck to that. I kept assigning for about half the year as the primary because really up until about July, it was strong. I mean, we were wholesale assigning houses out for 82 to 85 cents on the dollar as soon as we got them. In about August, September, we got this round of houses that when I put them on the board, it was like, I was out of town, I came back, it was projected out to like $100,000 in revenue when I put them on the board, just based off of what we've been experiencing all year. And it ended up being like 40 grand worth of revenue. I was like 60% off. And that was when I just kind of started going, ooh. So, we're wholesaling a lot right now, which is we buy it, put it on MLS and sell it. If we find that the competition is really still there. One house in Cedar Hill, we closed on it last week for like 160, I think. And we put it on the market at 200. We had like 40 showings in a week and got an offer at 205. So, and it's a 2-week close. So, that market's still really healthy. We did a lot more. We did very little fix and flip in 18. The first, spring we did a lot of it, but then we did building. We kind of stopped with the fix and flip. Kind of got rid of our 2017 inventory and then just did new builds from there. The buy and holds were still good. We're buying a lot of our buy and holds off MLS. We're looking for 322 brick, nice houses that need some TLC, that maybe price a little out of the investor bracket, but may need just enough work where it runs off the homeowners. And it's been working for us. We don't get a lot of them, but you can pay on one a month. I mean, that's pretty good. And the nice thing is you can pick. We're getting pyramid houses with they've never had foundation work and they're still solid. So sometimes you get a brand new roof and brand new HVAC, and all you have to do is paint and floor it, right? And so we found a pretty good mix in it.
What do you think the rent rate doing right now from
rent to basis? Yeah. So right now we're going for right at the 1%, 12% gross yield of the basis, not of the value. Now I know a lot of people used to want the 1% of value. I kind of went off that. If I can be in a house for $150 and get $1,500 in rent, I'm really cool with that because I'm gonna put 30, 40 grand down, refi. I'm only gonna borrow 110, 120. We're doing 30-year notes. We're getting, I think our interest rates are like right at 6.25. They're fixed. No call features, nothing. I want to accelerate the principal, I can. If I want to sit back and cash flow, I can. This year, we're still working on our buy and hold. So this is funny. In a year's time, I've taken assignment almost all the way off the table. Partly because of effort, right? When you're assigning property, it's hard. You got to go out, and you got to get the buyer, show the house, and you got to worry that they're not going to show up and close, and it's just really stressful. So what we started doing is we just closed on the house and put it on MLS and just let the buyers come through us for our wholesale inventory. I'm not going to do any fix and flipping this year, so it's interesting. So wholesale is actually my primary strategy now. Buy and hold would be second. and then build would be third, and then nothing would be fourth. I don't want to fix and flip it all right now. If I fix and flip it, will just be only I know some of you've been doing this long enough. It's just be only the lipstick on the pig. Clean the foundation, whitewash the house, put it on the market. I think for the affordability crisis has made it where all the flippers go in and do granite and custom cabinet and even a $180,000 house in the seat that I agree with you still seems like a $100,000 house, but whatever. They fix it up like it's a $400,000 house in Lake House. I mean, they got, the subway tile and the marble and so I think if we do fix one, it's just going to be address the structural, make it clean, sell it at a little bit of a discount. And so far, that's really worked. I mean, the times that we've done it in the last 4 or 5 months, you get a lot of interest. Now, you get realtors that can't read, you can't take FHA. So the first 5 contracts you get are FHA. And you just call and say, look, MLS says it 6 times, no FHA. Then they don't understand it, because the whole 90-day flip thing. So that's where we're at. So for me, and kind of where I'm at in this business is, if you play cards, you'll understand it. I'm taking chips off the table. As many chips as I can, and I'm putting them in my pocket. I'm still playing, right? I'm not done. I don't think my luck's run out. But taking chips off the table. I'm pursuing quality inventory that's pre-existing, not really willing to roll the dice much on the 2-bedroom house in Pleasant Grove, right? I know there's a lot of wholesale assigners out there that are doing that like crazy, and I see some of the price tags they attach to it, and it just blows my mind. And I'm not saying that's not a good business model. I'm not saying it doesn't work. I'm just saying for me, that's got too much risk in it and too much friction. There's going to be a lot of friction, right? So things that have been working for the last 2 years aren't going to work as well this year. Things that have been working the last 5 years are going to be a little bit different. Interest rates are going to go up. Loan to value with the lending companies are going down. We've already seen several of the national lenders go from 75 LTV on their long-term rentals to 70 LTV on their long-term rentals. We've got one that they won't say they lowered their LTV, but all of a sudden everything that gets priced back to us is coming in at 70 LTV. And it's like, what's that? Oh, well, that was cash flow restricted. It's like, no, it isn't, but whatever. So they may still advertise that it's 75 LTV, but then they change their cash flow criteria to basically ratchet you down to where they want. And I know we used to do that before, right? We say we loan 75 LTV, but by the time we got through haircutting your cash flow and whacking your maintenance, and we get you down to that 65% where we want it. This is what it is. I think this year is going to be fun. I think this year is going to be just like last year, maybe 2 or 3% less in total appreciation. Next year's scary. I would have told you that we had until after 2020. I think what we're experiencing mostly right now is a phenomenon of lack of confidence. I think every morning people wake up and they hear about the president's going to get put in jail, and Russia's coming to get us, and yesterday the crazy fake news from the right-wing side was that now in New York you can kill a 6-month-old baby. That was a big one. I think there's a general discomfort with the discord in the country that's making investors lean back and making homeowners lean back. And I think it's going to continue, and I think this is going to be a really, really nasty election cycle. I think the government's going to shut down again in February. And I think that's just going to be a repeating cycle, especially while now all the Democrats are declaring their presidency, and so they're all going to Iowa caucuses, so they all need speaking points. I don't know if y'all heard yesterday or earlier this week, Elizabeth Warren said that he was proposing a 70% wealth tax on anyone worth over $50 million. It's just a talking point, but it heats up rhetoric, right? I mean, and so I think I keep my exposure short term unless I'm looking at a long term play, right? So if I'm fixed, which is one of the reasons that even on the development, right? I mean, we've got this development that's going to be $6-7 million out of pocket, but my idea is set the project up where you plan to hold it for 10 years no matter what. And then, kind of like what they talked about with Brad, right? And that's really kind of the way I look at everything. As long as you got a 10-year horizon, you're going to be fine, right? Because I keep saying this, and I agree with Scott. And I think this is going to be not that bad. And I think after the next election, and it kind of all pulls out, we'll probably have a good run up after that, and then we'll have a big bang in 2024. So by then, I'm gonna be retired, so you guys can worry about that. But that's all I've got. I think if you're not in a mastermind, find a mastermind. Maybe not one you got to pay for. I mean, I know there's a lot of masterminds out there that want you to pay $5,000 and you can come meet with them in their super secret meeting. I'm in one that we meet every other Thursday. We pay like $100 a quarter just to pay for the breakfast. Because one dude pays the breakfast every month or every meeting, and then we just kind of reimburse him. But it's just 10 or 15 people sitting around a table talking about which justice of the peace was a headache, or which vendor, smoking crack that week, or who got a refi from which bank for how much, and also social media. Watch out on social media. Most of it BS. I mean, I see a lot of people talking about how many houses they buy and how they're killing it or crushing it or merging or all this other stuff. And unfortunately, like, some of those people are the same ones that were in my office crying 2 weeks ago, asking for help. But nobody's going to go on social media and say, hey, I'm really struggling. This market's not being nice to me. Can I have a friend? They're going to post, just bought 7 houses today and inked another one and da-da-da-da. And it's like, bro, based off your numbers, you bought 100 houses a month. How's that work? All right? So, and just be careful, because what happens is I've met a lot of investors that they're like, oh, well, so-and-so, this is good. It makes you start kind of getting down on yourself. Yeah. Because, I got to lay in on that one, right? I mean, because you see it, how did so-and-so get up on Saturday and buy 2 houses and sell 3 houses and add an owner finance and I'm working my butt off and I can't get one out, right? It's like, I just don't believe in it. And so many, like half these wholesalers out there right now, they're writing crap contracts. They never close. Never close. And then, those people call me back. I bought one in Richardson 2 weeks ago that went through 3 different wholesalers before they finally called me like, look, your offer's $30,000 less than their offer. No, you didn't get an offer from them. You got a worthless piece of paper. My offer's the only real one you got. They end up taking it, but after they've been put through the ringer. So just be patient, right? Don't let what other people say they do or don't do or they have or don't have. Don't let it influence you. Run your own race. Keep it small and keep it all right now. Right? I mean, really good advice. Trust me. I was out taking it last night. Just keep it small and keep it all. You're making a couple grand a month extra, just stock it away. Keep doing what you do. Get better, not bigger.